we have seen how to take the input from user or how to take the input from console. In today's session, we will see one of the collection elements supported in Python, that is list. So in our use case, book a seat in the flight. So obviously we need some seat numbers. So for that we will use the list. But before starting, what is list? List is the collection of ordered elements. So it will be indexed. It can contain duplicate values. Most importantly, it can be changeable. So for our use case, let's assume that we are taking the list variable as, let's say, total seats. Now we can put the seat number. So those are the seat number. You can assume that. So 1 to 10, this is our seat number in our flight. Now what we'll do? First we will try to print the total seats. What will happen? So let's assume that print total seats, and we will print type of total seats. Okay, let's see what will be the result here. So as per the program, we can put the name and seat number 3, and the total seats we can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. This is the list, and the type of the data type is the class of list. Okay, so this, what is your seat number, we can comment out for now. Later we will uncomment this line when we will start to compare the seat number. Okay, so let's comment out this line. Okay, and this line also. Okay, now this is the way to declare the list. Now we can use the list constructor also. So for that, let's assume that I can comment out this line. I can do the same thing. Let's say total seats equals to, you need to write the double parenthesis in the list constructor. So this is the constructor of the list, and then you need to write the double parenthesis. So let's assume that same thing I will write here. So let's run the program. Now you can see this is the list, and the data type of the list is the class of list. So this is the another way we can declare the list. Now what I have told, list is the collection of ordered elements, and we can traverse the list by using index. So here we can see list 0, list 1, list 2, list 3. So list 0 is equal to 1, list 1 is equal to 2. So 0th index, the value of the list is 1. So how can we see that? Let's say total seats, let's assume that 2. So 2 means the value will be displayed from the second index. So 0, 1, 2, the value will be displayed as 3. Let's see. So SP, then you can see the value of the list is the second index, the value is the 3. So I can comment out this line, print of type. Now what we will do, we can traverse the list from the 0th index. Now if you want to display what is the value in my last row, last column, or last index, I can say, this is the right word. So here what I can do, I can put that the list of 9th index, so that at that point that print statement will display the value as 10. But in Python we have another way to get the value from the last index. So let's assume that print, same thing we will write here, total seats minus 1. So minus 1 means it will display the value from the last index. Let's see what will happen. So name is the SP. Now here you can see the second index, the value was 3, and the last index, on the last index, that is mean on 9th index, the value is 10. So if I write total seats minus 2, it will display 9. So in this way we can traverse the list based on the index value. In Python, one operator is there, that is called slice operator, or the split. I can think about that. Let's assume that we want to display the value from 2 to 10. How can we do that? For that you can write in this way, print total seats let's say 1 is to nothing. So that means it will traverse the value from the first index. First index means this is the 0th index, the value is 1. The first index is the value is 2. Let's assume that what will happen. SP, then you can see the value is traversing from the first index, that is from 2 to 10. In a similar way, if we'll write that, let's say -1. So what will happen? Let's see. Run the program again. Then SP. Then you can see value is displays 0th index to the last -1, or the total index is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 9. So 9 minus 1 is equal to 8. So it will display the value from 0th index to the 8th index here. So this is the difference when you will write the negative or the integer before the colon, correct? So in this way we can slice the respective array. Now how can you copy this list? Let's assume that in my requirement I need to copy the entire list. So how can I do that? In Python, another the way is there. So I can comment out those lines as I have already executed. So here what we'll do, we can copy the entire list. Let's say for understanding, let's say copied lists. Copied, let's assume that sets here. Now what we'll do, total sets, just a column. That's it. So automatically the value will be copied. So now what we'll write down here, print the copied sets. I will write down here. So here you can see the new list has been created. Just clone the original list. Just we copied from total seats to copied seats using the slice operator. So in this way we can copy the entire list to a new list. Now what we can do, that we can do one thing. Let's assume that we want to display, or we want to do the reverse of the total seats list, right? So what we'll do, total seats dot reverse. So this is the standard function. So after that, if we'll display that the particular list here, let's run the program. Then you can see this is the copied seat equivalent to total seats. Now it is automatically reversed total seats. One thing you can notice here, this total seats dot reverse actually originally changing the main or original list. It is not producing the new list. Please remember this thing. So if I write down here, what will happen, you can check. What will happen, you can check. So let's run the program. Here you can see the main list has been copied, and when I have written the reverse in the print statement, it is displayed as the none data type. So that means this total systems reverse actually is not producing the new list, is changing the original list. Just to remember this thing. So in this way we can use the reverse operation for a particular list. Now what we will do, I can remove this reverse option, and for now I can, just for our understanding, I can comment this line. Okay. So how can I comment this line? In Mac you can use the comment and slash operator. So multiple lines will be commented in Python. Now what we'll do, how to add the value in the list. So for that, simple command is there in Python. So you can write down total seats dot append. Let's say I want to append 11. Okay, or I want to append 0. Let's assume that. Let's say if I'll run down that, then you can see, okay, I have not printed anything. That's why it is not printed. So let's assume that print total sets. What will happen? Let's run the program. I can put the input here. Then you can see the 0 value is appended for the entire list. So in this way we can use the append function to add the new value. Now what we will do, we can sort the entire list based on the particular integer. Okay, so for that, what we'll write down here, again just like reverse, what we can do, that total seats dot sort, then this is done. Now we can write print total seats. Let's see what happened. So I can put the name here, SP. Here you can see the entire list is being sorted. So first list is the by appending the 0 value in the last index, and here the sorted values are displayed. So why I have told is the same as reverse, only one reason. This total seats.sort also is not reproducing a new list. It's actually changing the original list. So that's why we have written total seats.sort here, and then we have printed the total seats. Just to remember this thing. Now what we will do, we can extend the list basically. Basically we can append the another list. How can we do that? We can use the extend operator. So, or extend function. So what I can do that, let's assume that extended for just understanding, sets is equal to, let's say 100, 200 and 300. Let's assume that. Now I want to append this list to the original list. So what I can do here, so I need to use the total seats dot append, dot extend, and then I can use the extended seats. So here in this way we can use the extend function to add the another list. Let's assume that this one, if I'll print the total seats now, here you can see the entire list is being appended. So this is the sorted list. So that list is originally changed, and after that it's appended the entire list. So in this way we can add the entire list to the original list. Now if I have a requirement, I need to include one value at the second index. Okay, let's say I want to include a value at the second index as 900. How can I do that? So for that in Python we have that the insert function. So we can write here, it's a total seats dot insert, then I can write the index here, it's a 2 comma 900. Okay, now if I'll print this, what will happen, we can see that. Now yeah, here you can see that the second index I have included, or I have inserted rather, I can say, the value as 900, but we have not replaced the value of the second index initially. The still 2 is there. Okay, that means using insert function we can increase the length of the list. Now how can we check the length of the list? We have the syntax, we have the function called len. So how can I check that? Let's say print len, then total sets. Let's say I can put the name here. You can see the total list length is 15. So in this way also we can get the length of the list. Now if I want to remove the particular value from the list, let's say now I want to remove the particular value. So what I can do here, I can use that print, or sorry, my mistake, let's say total seats dot remove. So here what we can do, that in the remove, let's say 900 value I want to remove. Okay, and then I want to display the total seats here. So basically what I am trying to show here, the various functions we need to use or we need in the real-time applications. Okay, so let's assume that, again run the program, I put the input here, then you can see this is the sorted list, then we have included the value of 900 at the second index, then we have removed the value 900. So if you want to remove the value, then we need to write the remove function, or we need to use the remove function. And now the question is that if the same value is there, then automatically Python will take, or Python will only consider the first value. So if the two 900 values are there, let's say after 6th index, at that point, after 6th index 900 value will not be removed. However, the first 900 value will be removed. What is happening here? And as we have removed one value here, now the list length has been reduced from 15 to 14. Now what will happen if I want to remove the last value from the list? So we can use the pop function. So for that, again, we can use that total seats dot pop, then print total seats. Let's see what happens. See, the last value or the last indexed value has been removed from the list. Now, most interestingly, if I'll copy this syntax, let's say, sorry, if I will put, let's assume that I want to remove that the 10th or 11th index value. Okay, let's assume that. What will happen here? Here you can see 100 is being removed. So there are three functions here we have described. One is that list.remove. Then we need to put the particular value in which value we have to remove from the list. Next one is that the pop function, if we will not pass any value in the pop function, at that point it will consider to remove the last value of the list. And if we will pass any valid integer on the pop function, it will remove the particular value from the particular index. So this is the difference between remove and pop. So in this way, we can use the various function of the list. So now what we will do for our business use case, only we will use the list. So those things are not needed for our business use case. Just for learning purpose, we have just checked all the respective operations. Now we have just commented out those lines for our understanding. So this is our seat number, total seats for our booking a flight. Now in the flight, just assume that some of the seats will be in reserve. So for the reserved seats, we can use the variable called, or we can use the collection element called tuple. Okay. So for that, what we need to do, let's say for now, we will write the variable as reserved seats. So before writing this, what is tuple? So list is changeable. So you can, so this is the list, right? So list of 1 is equal to 1, list of 2 is equal to 2 now. But list of 2, if you want to write list of 2 is equal to 20, the value will be changed to 20 at the second index. This is the characteristics of the list. So list is changeable. But what Python has provided, the tuple is the separate or the different type of collection element. Tuple is also the collection of order elements, but it is immutable or it is unchangeable. So list is mutable or changeable, but tuple is immutable or unchangeable. So unchangeable means, so let's say reserved seats, I can write this 1, 2, 3. So this is the syntax when we will write a tuple. Okay, so we don't need to write third bracket, only we need to just write down the parenthesis, and the comma is important. So this is, we can call the tuple. And if we'll traverse these reserved seats, let's assume that print reserved seats, let's say 1. Okay, what will be the outcome here? So let's assume that SP, this is the length of the list or original list, and here the second, the first index value is 2. But if I want to include here, let's assume that reserved seats 1 equals to 4. Then what will happen? sp, see, you will get the error. Tuple object does not support item assignment. That means you cannot change the value in the tuple. Okay, so all those values are the constant for this tuple. Okay, so that's why the warning sign is coming here. Now, so in this way we can declare the tuple. Another way is there, the same way is there, we can use the constructor also. Let's say copy this one, just like list, we can use the constructor. So our constructor name is tuple function. Now this is also called tuple. Okay, now if you run the program, you can see the same result is coming here. Now what we'll do, just for your understanding, I'll comment this line. What I will do here, I will uncomment this line. So this is called tuple, and the syntax is that tuple is that you need to write the parenthesis, and most importantly you need to put the comment. So here you can see this is this tuple or not. So this is actually not the tuple, this is just like integer object type of thing. So if you will execute the program, you can see reserved seeds 1 is not the tuple, that's why it is getting the error, it's not being able to traverse. So int object is not subscriptable. Okay, but if you write this thing comma, at this point it is the tuple, because the parenthesis is there, the comma is there, that means it is the tuple. So we can easily traverse the respective reserved seeds. So this is the way, this is the difference between list and tuple. So for our use case, we can make it the reserved seats, and the seat number is 1 to 3. So those reserved seats passengers cannot book it. Okay, so this is our use case. So this we can call is the tuple, and this we can call is the list. Okay, so this is today's session about how to write the list, how to apply the various functions on the list, and what is tuple. Now at the conclusion, what we have learned today. So about the list, the syntax is that you need to declare the list variable is equal to, in third bracket you can put the respective values using comma. As well as another way is that you can use the list constructor. Remember this thing, when you use the list constructor, you need to use the double parenthesis. List is ordered, index, mutable or changeable. As well as list can contain duplicate values, and list support the different data types. Different data type means in the same list you can enter value as the integer, you can enter value as boolean or string. So list can contain the different data types also. In the real project, I have seen there are lots of extensive use of slice operator. So remember this thing, this is very useful, slice and length function. In operator will be supported if you want to compare any value exists, or if you want to check any value exists in the particular list or not, you can use the in operator. We have seen how to insert the value at the particular index. For that we have to use the insert function. Extend function is applicable for concatenation of the list. However, we can use the plus sign also to concatenate the list. Remove and pop method to remove the particular value from the list. So pop can be used for removing the value from the last index of the list. If we will pass any index in the pop function, then at that point the respective pop function will remove the particular value from the respective index. And remove, we can remove the value whatever we will pass into remove function. But remember one thing, if the multiple values are there, Python will consider only on the first occurrence. Now reverse and sort, that is very important. So during reverse and sort, basically those functions are not reproducing the new list, they are changing the original list. Now coming to the tuple, the syntax is that you have to use the parenthesis. Most importantly, you need to use the comma operator, otherwise it will not be considered as tuple. And another way to create the tuple, you can use the constructor. Just remember one thing, everything is equivalent to the list or same as list, except list is changeable, but in tuple is immutable or unchangeable. Otherwise remaining stuffs are same. So that's all for today's session. Thank you for your time. If you have any doubt, any question, just let me know in the comment section. Thank you all.